Well, here we are, Bill's History and Wargame World, and we are at Walt L's house somewhere in Maryland in the underground wargaming bunker. And Kevin's going to tell us what we're playing today. Kevin, take it away.
Today is The Men Who Would Be Kings. We're doing 25mm scale. We are in the Sudan. It is the Fuzzy Wuzzies and their assorted other modest against a British column that is unsportingly squared up when they're supposed to be marching across the table, but we shall smite them anyway. We have a numerical advantage, we being Walt and I as the modest, and Bill and Mike are the British, and it ought to be a lot of fun. We love these rules. We play them pretty often. It's a very colorful period.
Well, the table looks fantastic, and I'll ask a quick question. How many figures are we using roughly for both sides?
Well, our tribal units are 16 figures, and we have like 6 of them, 8 of them. I have 4, and you have 4 more, I guess. So, our shooting modest are 12 figures, and we have 4 of them.
About 200 figures.
So a couple hundred figures. The British have fewer, but then they are a smaller force. They have units of 12.
12. All right. And Mike, I'm going to turn to you. You're ally with me, British. What do you think's going to happen here?
Long-term gain, I think the British are going to have some troubles because unlike playing against Mr. Babbage, our opponents actually have an idea of what they're trying to do.
Okay.
So I see us having some issues.
All right, and I'm going to turn to Walt because this is his house. Walt, do you have any input in our game today as we prepare to...
Absolutely. This should be a lot of fun. I think the British are going to really find it hard to be left on the table when it's all over with. I think so.
All right, well, I'll do a middle video for a minute or so halfway through the game, and then we'll do another minute at the end of who won and the outcome, and the winner, of course, wins. Jingles the puppy. Wow, here we are, and Walt, take it away. What's happening in turn 1?
Well, the Mahdi's are moving up. The tribal cavalry is advancing. The other tribal cavalry decided to see what the other one did, but as they were closing, the British opened up and they killed 1 cavalryman and they've killed 4 Fuzzy Wuzzies. So at the end of turn 1, the action's beginning to heat up.
River Arabs, they're not Fuzzy Wuzzies.
Wow. Okay, and it looks like there are a lot of Fuzzy Wuzzies and dervishes approaching from many different directions. We'll swing over to this side, and looks like Kevin's already taken some casualties.
Yes.
And Walt has some dervishes coming in on this side. All right, well, we'll come back and keep adding videos for this for the entire day, and once again, I'm sure Mike and I, as the British, will be victorious.
The Fuzzies were able to actually jump out of the brush, and they were able to hit part of the dismounted camel corps. They closed. The Brits rolled 12 dice and did 4 hits to the Fuzzies. The Fuzzies rolled 16 dice and did 6 hits back to the Brits. So the Brits are kind of really hurting all of a sudden. Not to mention the fact that the unit to their immediate right was fired at by one of the Ansar units. Even though they only took 1 casualty, they failed at their pin test, so that next turn they've got to sit there and just try to get their act together so they can respond.
So a quick question for our viewers. So does that mean the British square on turn 2 is already in jeopardy?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we're having a lot of fun, jovial time here, and we'll continue with our game.
Don't mess.
All right. Second half, turn 2. Walt, tell me what happened here at the Four Feathers Sudan game.
It's a good day to be a Sudanese. The British had 1 unit that was pinned last turn. They had to rally this turn. Unfortunately, they rolled snake eyes, which means the unit broke, and we have to actually look to see how far they go, because I don't think we moved them far enough, but that was me just taking a picture. But anyways, in the meantime, after they broke, every British unit, and there's 5 of them left, have to take a test to see how they react to it. Well, we have a unit here that became pinned. We have a unit there that became pinned. So the British have got to spend next turn trying to rally them. In the meantime, over here, we have hostiles. We have hostiles. Those guys are pinned, so they're not going anywhere. They're pinned as well, so they're not going anywhere. But we've got more Sudanese and Mahdi's.
What are the single figures in the center?
Those were Mike Kennedy's British colonials that broke.
And they're running for their lives.
They are just helter-skelter.
Okay, well, the British square will hold. I think I'm going to have to call out the special officer at some point to help roll dice. Thank you.
Who gets the...
All right, the bloody square. Kevin's rolling in the brown dice for this fuzzies. Mike's got the British.
We're 4. There's 4.
And
now I roll 4 more.
Kevin's rolling more dice. How many, Mike, did you kill?
2.
2 Sudanese fuzzy wuzzies lie dead with British bayonets.
And there's 5.
So,
total.
Man, this looks bad for the British. 2 dead on Sudanese. How many Brits died?
5.
That's going to put a crimp on that. And Walt, what happens next?
Now we have to see about did any of their leaders die, and then the British will have to take a rally test or a pin test to see whether or not they become pinned or whether they're going to be able to.
We're going to watch Mike's dice here, and
Leader lived.
leader lived.
Kevin's died.
Kevin's leader died. All right.
Ibn Wad.
All right, and take one more guy out of there, Kevin, because you lost 2 guys total.
Okay.
And then Mike,
actually,
you have
he's
to
not
pick
the
out.
leader. He's not the leader.
Well, I always take the flag out, Kevin, just because that way you know there's leaders gone.
Well, I guess so.
4 or better, because your net is a 5 minus 1.
We need a 4 or better here. And he
6.
does it with a 6.
So he'll back up 3 inches. He will not be pinned, though, so he'll be able to shoot next turn. Yeah, just put him on the side.
All right, and the British square is starting to crumble. All right, we're going to continue our game.
No. This is it.
All right, I'm just jumping into the action with the video, and Walt with his mounted dervish are charging into the flank of Mike's British, and it looks bad. We're going to see what happens. There's Mike's roll for the British, and he has to roll some 6s, right? Or 5s?
5s and 6s.
5s and 6s. Mike, you didn't do very well. And Walt, you got 1 kill, is it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So the flank attack, did you get any bonus for that, Walt?
I think it knocked down what he could fight.
Instead
He could
of
only fight
fighting
with half
6 back,
figures.
I only fought with 3 dice back.
All right. Well, the
Now,
British
for the
square is
leader.
looking bleak. Mike's checking for the leader.
the leader.
So Mike's leader is now dead, correct? I swear our British square is falling apart.
So, and then your test would be now your level.
Is an 8.
He's down 1 because he's under half, and he's down to an 8 level leader.
Well, a replacement leader's an 8.
All right, so it'd be you need a 9 or better, Mike.
9 or better to save this unit that's being hit on the flank.
Oh, and he makes
And
it.
he makes it.
So they just back up.
So they back up, and does he get to form front? Or-
He goes away from the direction of the charge.
He goes
So
away from the charge, so yeah.
Okay, well, he's good shape now. He's facing the cavalry, but he does have dervishes coming in from just about every other
Multiple sides.
direction.
Yes.
All right, well, we'll continue our game, and we'll cut in again with the video at some point.
It takes 2
All right.
hits for you to hit a cavalryman.
Here comes Walt. He's charging in on my British dismounted cavalry corps, camel corps, and Walt has hit me. All right, well, Walt's cavalry charge was devastating. I lost all 7 of my British. I was able to shoot down 4 as he came in, but the British square is now looking more like an apostrophe. So we're going to remove these dead. I'll add this clip, but the British square is crumbling. And I just have to point out, Walt's troops over here have been here for, I think, 3 or 4 hours now.
You tell him, Bill.
Kevin, I think it's you. You've been doing all the heavy lifting.
Absolutely.
But Walt just cracked the eggshell or the nut really bad right now with his cavalry.
Well, he.
All right. Well, Kevin's in a great mood. We have just completed our game of the men who would be kings of the Sudan. And Kevin, where is the British square?
Right there.
Wow. Can you give a quick recap of what happened in the final turns? And I'm going to go to Walt because his cavalry did quite well. How did your infantry do?
We did all the work on the modest side except for Walt's cavalry units. Yeah. We single-handedly destroyed Mike and most of Bill. And
yeah, I was amazed. Our square really does not even exist. No. I'm going to get a close-up. And then I'm going to ask Walt, what's this cavalry happened here, Walt? What happened?
They went clean through. They started over there and came clear through, wiped out 7 guys there, and then almost wiped out this other group.
That was the same guy.
That's the last. Oh, no, it was a different guy because these guys were 7 dead. And here, there were like 6 guys, and I killed 5 of the 6 or something.
Yes.
So the square is gone, and I'll be honest, the
left.
Sudanese players, I mean, they still have a ton of units that are still hiding out. And what was the high point, the cavalry?
The cavalry was the high point. I mean, Kevin was putting all the pressure on. He had, did you have 4 tribes or 5 tribes? You had one
4 tribes and two irregular
shooters.
Yeah.
And you lost 1 shooter.
Yes.
That went off the table.
Yes.
All right, and then I lost a tribe, and so I had 4 infantry, and I had 1 go off the table. So did Kevin. But the 2 cavalry units, you shot up the one pretty good to where it disappeared. But then the second one came in and did the coup de grace, not taking anything away because Kevin had this unit, and this unit actually take out 2 of Mike's units.
All right, and I'm going to swing to Mike to do the ending recap. Can you go over what rule book we used once again?
The Men Who Would Be King. It's an Osprey book. Find them at most hobby stores that hold any kind of these blue binder type books. As far as the game, the British took it on the chin in proper British style.
Well, we held to the last. And I had a great time, and I think we have enough time yet today to set this up and play again. I probably won't do a video a second time, but I hope you enjoyed our game here at Walt L's house somewhere in Maryland at a secret location. And the winner gets a puppy, so I guess Kevin will be getting Jingles the puppy from my wife. And thank you. Stay safe. Be kind. Be courteous. And yes, Goober the Traveling Bear is here also. Thank you.